Basically, it looks like he's...
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Ferran Derry.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. That listen up might actually go out to Mike Tenay as you heard his interesting attempt at showing outrage towards the actions of Bobby Roode. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to fake anger. I mean, obviously the wrestlers are a little bit better at it because they have that natural aggression, but as a commentator, it's hard to fake being angry, and when it comes across that bogus, that phony, to I guess use the old Psycho Sid word, bogus, I don't know, that honestly I think is bull bleep, but that's a whole nother story. Yes, of course, Bobby Roode, the new TNA champion from this past Thursday on Impact. Looks like a rematch might be set up for Turning Point 1 week from tomorrow. But here are the matches that we already have set for Turning Point. 5 matches thus far. You've got a brewing grudge match that's kind of gone on over the last couple of months ever since his return from hiatus in TNA. Jeff Hardy going up against Jeff Jarrett. You've got Crimson against Matt Morgan. Kind of a dream match. I think the only one who's thinking that's a dream match is Matt Morgan. But, of course, Crimson with that continued undefeated streak going up against Matt Morgan in a one-on-one match. You've got Rob Van Dam against Christopher Daniels in a no disqualification match. Velvet Sky, she's going to be facing Gail Kim for the TNA Knockouts title. And Mexican America teaming up with Sarita in a mixed 6-person tag against Ink and Toxin. And the TNA tag titles are on the line. That just seems like it's... If it's so overbooked that it's difficult to explain, then you need to cut back on something. Maybe have the two women go against each other in a singles grudge thing, or don't put the tag titles on the line, just have a 6-person mixed tag. But putting the tag titles on the line, I don't know. That sounds like a Vince Russo thing. So does that mean that there's a possibility that I don't know, Shannon Moore and Toxin could be the tag team champions? I mean, based on who makes the pin. I mean, I don't know. Stranger things have happened. I mean, how do you think David Arquette won the WCW world title? Going back, 11 plus years ago now. Amazing where the time goes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the phones. Let's take a quick look at the local scene, courtesy of Ed. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. ROH returning to Philly at the Northeast Armory.
Okay, when's that going down, Ed?
January 20th. Tickets will be on sale soon.
Oh, very good.
And happy birthday to Johnny Cashmere.
Johnny Cashmere, yeah. I think I've met him on only one occasion, but I actually know a close friend of his, kind of a mutual friend type deal. Yeah, that's you said that was in what?
birthday.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Sorry, I was trying to find out a little bit more about that Ring of Honor show coming up. Since
I should have more information in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, very good. Okay, well, as that comes along, you can certainly bring that up to us. Any other local things coming up? I know...
Jersey Shore Championship Wrestling at the Golden Door Charter School.
Okay.
In Jersey.
Oh, over in Jersey.
Jersey City.
Okay, when's...
7 p.m. bell time.
All right, that might be a nice place to head out there. Got anything else for us, Ed?
Not this week.
All right, not a problem. I always appreciate the local look at things. Thanks so much for the call. One bit of local info I know coming up. Granted, it's not for another month and a half, but the night after TLC, coming up December 19th, I believe that is, Monday Night Raw will be in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. Initially, we were supposed to get the TLC pay-per-view, but I guess due to scheduling conflicts, somewhere along the way, the TLC pay-per-view got moved to Baltimore, and we ended up getting the consolation prize of Raw the next night. I don't know. I think TLC would have worked better here in Philly, but maybe they were afraid of too much of an ECW reaction. Wouldn't surprise me. Stranger things have definitely happened. Who knows? Definitely hard to say. Oh, wow. So, yeah, more thoughts on the Muppets and some other tidbits. Actually, let me go over here to the Facebook fan page. I've got a couple of postings here over the course of the last couple of days. Evan chiming in, of course, with the debut last night on SmackDown of, Epico. Yes, he says, hopefully Epico debuting and helping Hunico is another sign that the tag team division is coming back to prominence. Primo could even be added for a newer version of the Colognes. Didn't even think about it that way, but, I mean, I don't know. The tag team division's kind of in a little bit of limbo, and at least as far as the championship is concerned, because, something I was going to bring up in the next segment of News and Notes, but one half of the tag team champions currently suspended. Yes, WWE suspending Evan Bourne, better known as, also known as Matthew Corkland, for 30 days this past Tuesday due to a wellness policy violation. So, I don't know, does that mean they'll be stripped of the titles because they won't be able to defend it for 30 days? Or maybe they can go with an angle where Kofi's defending it on his own because his partner obviously isn't there. There are a number of ways they can go with it, or they can just keep Kofi Kingston off of TV and just kind of out of sight, out of mind. That could certainly also be a possibility. And then Dan chiming in as well with some video courtesy of WWE.com. Beth Phoenix and Natalia's rental car while they were down in Georgia for Raw, their rental car was stolen. Yeah, only in Atlanta. I don't know. Don't you think they'd know? What's that True TV show, Bait Car? I think that's actually based out of Atlanta. So apparently there are a lot of car thieves down there, and Beth and Natalia, they happen to be unfortunate victims. I hate to chuckle about it, but yeah, if you haven't seen Bait Car, it's actually kind of funny because it's based out of Atlanta. That's the other, I guess, ironic part of it, but. They literally have I guess it's a remote controlled car run by the Atlanta Police Department, and potential thieves go in, they take the car, and then eventually it gets shut down, and the police swarm in and end up arresting them for auto theft. But apparently they knew this one wasn't a bait and took the rental car of Beth Phoenix and Natalia. That is a bit of a shame. Doggone it. All right, some other news and notes. We talked, of course, last week about the fallout between Cody Hall and his father Scott following the ESPN E60 piece. And Cody Hall spoke with Mike Mooneyham of the Charleston Post and Courier, and said that despite his latest falling out with his father, that he still is looking to be a professional wrestler. It's a quote here: "For a long time, we've had a non-existent and strained relationship. I felt that his time was running out. I didn't want him to leave unfinished business or regrets, so I was trying to get to know him the best I could in the time he has left. I wanted to make him proud of me, too, so I tried to do whatever it took." He goes on to say, "I left because of the anguish of watching my dad kill himself with his addictions. It became too hard for me to witness this every day, and no matter how much I tried to help him, nothing changed. Eventually, there came a point where I couldn't live around it any longer." He goes on to say, "My hopes are that my dad will want to make getting well his full-time job and priority. He can't help me if he can't even help himself. It's my desire to be notable, special, and remembered. Wrestling seems like a great avenue for those goals." Having the height that he has certainly doesn't hurt. He's like a legit 6'7", 6'8", and packing a little bit of muscle on that frame. I mean, he's only 20 years old, but 3-4 years down the line, that kind of adding some muscle to that frame, Vince will more than likely sign him in a heartbeat. That's just a personal hunch, though. Just knowing how Vince McMahon is. Definitely some interesting stuff. All right, we're going to take care of our second time out. Get to some more news and notes on the other side. We also have Today in Wrestling History, a couple of interesting segments, including a rather notable injury that occurred on this date 17 years ago. What could that be? You'll have to find out on the other side. Plus, more of your calls. We got a clear board, so we'll get you right on in on the other side. 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. And, of course, you can check out the Facebook fan page, WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly. Pretty much on a daily basis, I've got the Today in Wrestling History. I've got a segment up there, usually with video. Had a fun one from yesterday going back to Monday Nitro from 1996. Of course, discussing the potential match between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper at the time. And also, starting to get archives of the show on YouTube, just in case you miss it. Take a look, type in the search box up there, WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly, and it should pop up. I still have to get last week's and this week's show up. I'll take care of that while I'm doing the overnight here at BCB. I have an extra hour thanks to daylight saving time, so I have no excuses. And even if I somehow miss it, I'm sure I'll come up with an excuse. But I should have no excuses. I'll have both this week's and last week's shows up on the YouTube page later tonight into tomorrow morning. Anyway, this is Pro Wrestling Weekly. Back with more of your calls, news and notes, Today in Wrestling History, and more here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.